Okay, greetings YouTube land. Welcome back to another random film review. This is a movie called Blood Red Sky, and it's on Netflix. I think it came out like Friday maybe. Um, I think this is considered a foreign film, even though it's kind of mixed. You know, English and German and just like a couple of other language because it's taking place on a plane. You know, and in the beginning on an airport or in an airport. The only one I'm familiar with is Dominic Purcell, and I only know him. Well, I know him from Blade 3 Trinity. He played Dracula in there. He was in the Name of the King 3. He was in that one. And then he is in the very awful, absolutely fucking awful, Legends of Tomorrow, that series. He plays a guy named Mick, but enough of that. It's a terrible show. He's in it. But he's in this film, The Blood Red Sky. And you know, I guess there's gonna be spoilers here, okay? But maybe if you saw the trailers, it's not too big a deal. You know, it opens up in an airport, and there's a boy in there, and then the mother. And the mother, she has no hair. She has to wear a wig, because I wasn't too clear on this, but I believe they make you assume she has cancer. But she has some other kind of problem, I'll say that. And he encounters some other guy. I think he's like a Middle Eastern guy. He can speak both Arabic as well as German. And, you know, he kind of talks to the boy and kind of befriends him. And the mother doesn't, she comes out of the bathroom and doesn't like that. But later on, you know, they get on the plane. And then eventually what happens pretty soon after is the plane is hijacked by a group of multicultural terrorists. And, you know, Dominic Purcell being one of them. You have one dude, if I remember correctly, like I said, I only saw this one time, but I believe he's I guess the word for it is still a stewardess, right? He's acting like he's a gay, and he's German. And he's acting like a gay, but it turns out he's not really gay, and he's a complete psycho. I think they called him 8-Ball. 8-Ball was his name, and he was an absolute psycho in this. I mean, wow. One guy he killed by putting his blade through the guy's eye, and then continually stabbed him all over his gut and everything, and just killed him that way. And even his own crew are kind of afraid of him, saying, you know, what's the matter with you, you psycho? Now, so the plane is taken, you know, by these hostage, taken by these terrorists, and the thing is, they're I won't go too much into detail, but you know, they're trying to spread some kind of message, and they want to try to blame it on the Muslim terrorists, right? Even though they're not really Muslim terrorists. So they get a bunch of the Muslim people. They have them read like a note to let them believe that they're the terrorists, you know, something like that, and record it, and you know, they let it play to to the people down on the what do you call it, the different airports, I guess, you know, so they think, you know, it's being taken over by the terrorists. Now that woman with no hair and the boy, and she's German, by the way, you know, she's harboring a secret. There are parts in the film where it goes into like a flashback of how a certain thing happened to her. Should I even say it? I think you got that anyways from the trailer. She is a Nosferatu, a vampire. And now here's the thing. The way she looks when the wig comes off, and you see her, you know, and her ears eventually become pointy, is very heavily inspired by Nosferatu, German, and Nosferatu, I think it's Fritz Lang's Nosferatu. So I don't know if that was done on purpose, or this is just the way the Germans see the vampires, how they look like that. So maybe that's a thing. But I think, to me, I got that heavily inspired Nosferatu vibe to it. Although that's not always the case, because other people do get infected, I would say that, and they don't look like that. I think with her it's just because she's bald, you know, so that's why it has that Nosferatu look. She does, and she's been keeping this a secret, and let's just say, and she's been keeping it a secret for a good many years, you know, ever since her boy was just a little baby in the high chair, and now the boy is, I don't know, he looks like he's about 9 or something, 8 or 9, you know, maybe closer to like 9, and it's up to her to save them all and to unleash her secret. I'll say that. Very cool, a different type of, I'll say, you know, action, terrorist action horror flick. You know, really cool. I do recommend it. I liked it, you know, quite a bit. I recommend checking it out. There's plenty of gore to be had, and there's some swearing. And for my final score, I think I'm gonna give it. Let me think here. I think I'm gonna give it an 8.25 out of 10. So do check it out. I know I rate. No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna give it an 8.5 out of 10. That's, I think I originally wanted to give it that. I do recommend it. 8.5 out of 10. I know that's my personal score. You know, a lot of folks think maybe that I rate things a little bit too high, but you know, that's the thing. You know, my scales is a little different, I guess, from other folks. You know, what might be considered 6 or 7, and those folks consider that still maybe like an okay score or good. Their good is like a 6 or 7. I still consider something 6 or 7 to still be good too. But I guess that's the way I differentiate how much I like a film. You know, I'm of course going to rate it if I really love it. I don't go by whether it's like a B flick or you know, super low budget or anything necessarily. I guess I can give you one example, and I'm just trying to think here. The movie Sorceress. Okay, that's a is that Jim Wynorski? I think that's a Jim Wynorski film, Sorceress, and it stars the Harris twins. It's an 80s B sci-fi, B fantasy flick. You know, it's low budget. You know, the Harris twins, you know, Lee Harris, Lynette Harris, the Playboy twins from back in the early 80s. That film, I mean, I really love that one a lot. I mean, I would give that one like an 8. I thought it was great, you know. Lord of the Rings, for me, those are like a perfect 10. The Hobbit trilogy, I would give that like anywhere from like a 9.75 to a 10. I really love those. You know, a lot of people crap all over the Hobbit, you know, prequels, but that's how I do things. That's how I rate it. You know, so take that into account. So, anyways, yeah, that is it. 8.5 for Blood Red Sky. Highly recommend it. Check it out. Yeah. Yep. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Yep.